old steering wheel, put a little tape on it, protect it. This hub is jammed on there. I think he just sent it home and it's not coming off. I don't think it's the correct one for the car, so that's gonna be fun. I'm gonna worry about that later. But for now, I already got started a little bit. This is what you're gonna need to remove. Obviously this piece goes to your firewall. This is your dampener. I think it's called dampener, which is connected to this guy. This guy's welded on, cut that off. See you later. The kit that I bought was from Excessive, which I'm finding out their track record isn't too good. Everything I bought from them I have to modify, which is not fun. But this is what the kit comes with. Comes with your bushing, slides in there. Seems to fit okay. I've read that this has to be modified. Take it down a little bit, it's a little too thick. This is dirty. These are bent a little bit. So I'm gonna do that first before I go ahead and screw with this. Second of all, this piece here is gonna fit right in there. Fits good, welded on there. The orientation of this should not matter at all because you have your splines on your steering rack. So, you know, every notch is enough for you. You'll be able to adjust the steering wheel straight. This piece here, this U-joint, I think they're called. This guy, once everything is together and fits together, this thing just flops around. I've done a little research, I've watched some other videos, people online saying that this thing is not really the correct one to have for this whole setup. Either you buy a new one or you modify it. Modifying it would entail this heim joint that you would slide on and then mount this to the side somewhere. That way it doesn't flop around, it stays where it needs to go. But again, with this, it doesn't fit. So I'll have to change the diameter of this, put in the lathe, maybe bring that flat back, but we'll figure it out and see if we can get it working. But let's go ahead and weld this on and then we'll worry about what's next. Steering column's mocked up, kind of half loose in there. So let's put this piece in here. I'm gonna put everything like at max tightness, meaning like jam everything up as much as I can. On the rod here, I'm gonna put this all the way down also, as far as it can go. It's past the splines. There's two splines on here, I don't know if you can see it, two sets. There's only one set here, but it goes up pretty far. You know, so I'm gonna just try to play around with it. Here's our little heim joint I was talking about, and that's gonna be mounting somewhere around here. I'm gonna have to make some kind of bracket to come off of here. It's too much of an angle. Maybe off of there. Again, too much of an angle. Let's get this together first and see what's up. I'm gonna shave this down, get this thing welded on, and we'll slowly piece it together. All right, got back from my brother's, welded that on. My welder is not strong enough. So as you saw, he kind of finished it up for me. Next thing we're gonna do is put this bushing on here, push it in there. I heard it's pretty hard to put in. So I don't want to really hammer down on this wheel. I also don't want to take it off yet, as I was saying before. So I think I'm going to put it in the vise and try to support the middle. You know, or something. Maybe I'll just put it on the ground, support the middle of 2x4 or something like that. So let's see how hard this is. I'm gonna go ahead and bend this tab back because I'm noticing that you can see it's kind of bent. So on to our next problem. I noticed that when I was hammering it, just pushing that rod down in there. You can probably see it now. We can't see it anymore. I think I'm going to try to pull that out. I don't know if I was compressing everything or what kind of mechanism is in here, but I'm going to try to put the U-joint on and screw it down and then try maybe I can pull it back out. Because I think these inside here, they telescope. I could be wrong, but I'm hoping. Let's just see what happens here. Okay, 10 minutes off camera. Now that that's done, we did some hammering, some DW40ing, and some swearing. I think this is a spline shaft, 2 of them, because as this thing was coming out, I mean, it did come out and nothing moved up here. So I'm pretty sure it is, but regardless, we got kind of lucky. The steering was really, really tight prior to doing this. I thought I ruined it, compressing things, but then I thought this little bushing here that I pounded in was crooked, but I sprayed some DW40 in there, also up in front here, and you just kind of work it back and forth and try to get things to seat. But I was really kind of spinning it quite a bit, but it was squeaking a little, and now it's good. You can hear it once in a while squeak, but I'm gonna lube that up again before I put it in, because that's gonna be annoying as hell if you're in the car and this thing's squeaking all the time. And I don't want to take this out again because it will probably suck. Let's go ahead and try to put this in. I have this little plate sandblasted, so I'm gonna paint that, finish this thing, make sure everything's together, and then we can put our U-joint on and start figuring out how this is gonna work. Should be fun, because that was not. Okay. All right, so here's our U-joint here. Put this guy on. Took all the bolts out, just obviously so we can kind of manipulate everything. This one. We're gonna have to cut this steering shaft down. So I'm gonna run this thing all the way down, just like that. Kind of get an idea. Oh, not too much. I'm gonna have to cut just a little bit off. Something like that. All right, here we are. Modifying parts from excessive once again. So the problem here now is that this shaft is too thick this way. The 2 flats need to come down a little bit because nothing, it's so tight, it doesn't even go at all. So we'll have to take down a little, but it's just getting ridiculous that I have to do this. You know, I understand you got to cut it to length, you got to do other things, but this kit is a good start. That's where it goes, but you will have to do quite a bit of modifying. So let's go ahead and shave this down and see if See if we can get it to fit. Hold on here. Okay, let's go ahead and put this on again. Enough meat there and there. This U-joint is binding up, which I had a feeling it would do, but I think I can just shave a little bit off of here. It's just a little bit. Oh, it's actually hitting this rod. So let me go ahead and take maybe an eighth off of that quick. Let's see what happens. I think we're good now. Here's that Heim joint I was going to use because I was going to have it kind of tie itself together, you know, make a little mount so that this wouldn't flop around. It's only two joints, so they can kind of hold themselves. But after everything's in, who knows? With the wheels on, maybe a little different story, you know, once there's some weight on it. But this guy's here for, we can use that if we want, and it's all ready. I cut it down, so we'll be good if we have to go that route, but looks good. Now let me go ahead and put that manifold on, and we can kind of see where things flow here. As you can tell, I have another flange on here. I have this as a spacer because fitting things earlier, it didn't seem like it was correct. I'll show you right now. So you can tell that it's kind of pointed towards the U-joint. So with that spacer, let's see if I can put that in. So now we have a little more room to kind of snake around. So that's kind of general idea of where she's gonna go. This is what we got for space. It's kind of right in the way. This is fine, I don't have to worry about that, but you know. Let's take a look underneath and see what's going on there. I mean, it is pretty tight, but not too crazy. I'll probably just maybe come over and out or something like that. Or I really think there's gonna have to be a little shield, maybe a homemade something. Or maybe I'll just wrap this pipe and that will, that'll help us, you know, with this boot. All right, cool, on to the next. All right guys, here is another one from JSP. Comes with your O-ring to kind of seal things. It's a 3-piece design. And this is your 16AN big guy that would mount here to bypass your thermostat. But I already had this installed and noticed a couple issues. Not with this product, it's actually with the manifold. When you're using two different manufacturers, I guess we'll say, some things may not jive. So let's go put this on and I'll show you what's going on. JSP also offers a plate to hold your cover because you'll be deleting that also. So this guy will just sneak right in there like that. And there's a bolt in there and that's how it kind of holds everything. So you can use your factory cover, it's nice. But this part does not come with a kit, I believe. You may have to buy these separate. I'm just gonna kind of mock things up because I want to just show you. So this part will go here. So here's our water neck. Just kind of sits on just like that. And as you can tell, we're running into some issues here. It's pretty close. Not touching, but close. Luckily, I put that little spacer in there, we're gonna call it still, that other flange. and it moves the whole manifold out. I don't know what this is, maybe a 1/2 inch. So we got a little lucky, so we wouldn't have to modify this too much, but we still can't fit our fitting on there. There's no way. So here's another, I think this is a 10-10, and I'm gonna kind of just drill a hole and mount it right on the bottom there. We'll weld it in, and we'll just bypass it completely. So it'll just go like this. And then for this hole, we're gonna plug with just a little plug here I got. And with that, I think we should be pretty good. Yeah, we're good. We're close, but we're all right. These ports here are 8th NTP, and then this one is a factory one for the factory beams water temperature sensor. This kit also does come with some plugs if you don't need them, if you do need them. I might end up utilizing them. I'm not really sure yet. We'll figure that out later, but let's go punch this hole in and get everything ready to weld. Then we'll head over to my brother's and go bother him again. Here's our plate for the front cover. Remember, it sits in here like this. And what I did is I just took off this nib here on the top because I'm not running a top cover. So I just kind of cleaned things up a little bit. So I'm gonna put this back on. This is all set. Bung is welded on. Came out pretty good. So let's go ahead and mount this up real quick. Just kind of mock it up so we can see where things are at. All right, the 45 seems to work well. I'm not sure, it'll probably hit this, but you know, I can flex over this a little bit. Maybe it'll rest on it, it's not a big deal. This is a 90 I had just laying around, and this is not gonna work. I'm gonna need a 120. But if I get the 120, it's gonna be really short. So we're gonna kind of figure that out. If that doesn't work, worst comes to worst, I'll just hard line it in, and then I can go maybe down here, or over or something. I can worry about the plumbing later, but the hard parts are out of the way. Got this welded on, fixed our clearance issue, so we're on our way. All right, guys, that's gonna do it. We're slowly chipping away at things here, making some progress. Next on the list is finishing up the throttle bodies and possibly getting into the linkage with the gas pedal. Radiator is on its way, start some plumbing, so getting into the kind of fun stuff. I also ordered all of my suspension, coils, brakes, a bunch of tie rods, control arms, a bunch of things. That's gonna take a little while to get, but we're in no rush, obviously. So, all right, guys, thanks. See ya.